I love that you guys are on here. I just want to say Fridays have really brought a lot of value, not only to me, but also to a lot of real estate agents. And I wasn't aware of how many people were like checking out the recordings and going back and listening and taking notes and really building up their scripting booklet. If you're not doing that, that's what you guys should be doing. You should be going back. I send out the video recording every Wednesday. And if you really want to do this at a high level, you should go back and rewatch and take notes, create your scripting booklet. So let's go ahead and get started right now. It is 8:31. I want to make sure that I get you guys out at 9:30 because at 9:30, I am hopping in my truck and driving out to the Catskills. I rented me a cabin for 4 days, just me, my camera, my scotch, my cigars, and the fireplace. I'm just going to be hanging out and unplugging for a little bit. So I appreciate you guys being here this morning. What's up, Gerald? How you doing? What's up, Debbie? Hey, if y'all don't know, Debbie is killing that social media game, documenting versus creating. I love seeing your videos, and it's great how you just put it together and take a whole day and do your videos. Keep that up because people are paying attention. Patty Gurney, who may not be on this call today, will tell you, I think in the last week, she got about, I don't want to exaggerate, but I want to say it was 3 listing opportunities, just from posting and people seeing her post and reaching out to her. So it works. People want to see you and they need to be reminded. And we think we post too much. We don't post enough. People are so busy living their lives. They kind of forget who we are and what we do. And they need that constant reminder. And social media is a way for you guys to do that for free. It costs you nothing. Costs you nothing. And I post, if you guys follow me, I post all the time. And I'll tell you this, not as a form of bragging, but as a form of telling you it really works. Someone who followed me on TikTok reached out to me about 2 weeks ago, and I kind of forgot about the conversation. And she hit me up 2 days ago. Hey, I'm back from vacation. Want to talk to you about doing some training for our group of agents. We have 9,000. I was like, okay, let's go. And that's just from putting out content, though. Like, that's nothing special except staying present, documenting versus creating. So sometimes I even think, like, David, are you going to post that? This shit is so silly. Come on, what are you doing? But I'm like, I just got to stay out there and just continue to do it day after day. So I hope you guys continue to do that as well. What's up, Matt? What's going on, sir? Listen, before we get started, I wanted to find out 2 things. Number one, over the last week, based on what you learned on this call, based on getting on the phone, getting purposeful, did anyone have any wins? Anybody maybe pick up the phone for the first time? Maybe you got your first FISBO preview. Maybe you got your first listing opportunity, or you were able to negotiate your commission and get 6% instead of 5%. Like, tell me, talk to me. Anybody have any success?
I'll go.
Thank you, Ashley. Cheers. All right, there we go.
Not on the seller side, but the buy side.
Right.
I visited clients of mine that closed when I was on vacation last month, and I brought over a gift for them. And late the next day, she texted me, my sister and her fiance are looking for a house. They're off this Wednesday. They're coming from Pennsylvania. Can you take them out? And I was like, okay. Took them out, scheduled a buyer consultation right after, went over commission. They had no problem signing with the 2.5.
I took them out, had them sign the buyer consultation, have them sign it, and they paid the commission. So all you guys sitting out there sweating, oh, people aren't going to want to pay. We're overthinking it. Ashley, good job. That's what I'm
Thank you.
talking about. You're doing all the things right. Very nice. Who else?
I could go.
Well, go. And I want to say
Oh,
this,
yes.
Michelle, I'm shouting you out on here. Michelle's on Instagram. She had a listing opportunity this week. Go ahead, Betty.
Okay. So yeah, last week, me and Jimmy, we had a listing. We thought we were going for a preview. So trust me, we were very dressed casually and everything. We spoke to them, explaining everything that we would do. I drop off a light bio when we do that. And they were like, okay. So being that they were fine with everything that we were asking. So I was like, okay, well, let's go over our commission. So I was like, we charge 6%, but I want to explain that half a portion goes to us and the other portion goes to the buyers. And they were like, oh God, we want you to get everything. Can we pay you more? We only took it at 6% though, but yeah, that happened last week, Friday. Yes.
Wait, they say, can I pay you more?
Yes, they did. They were like, we want to pay you more. We want you to get all the money. Like, what do we need to do? And
Pay me, pay me
we just
seven.
said 6%.
That's awesome though.
No, six.
Congratulations. And it just goes to
Yeah.
show you got to be prepared. Like you never know when a
Yeah,
preview
I
can
had
turn into a
everything ready.
presentation. Yep.
Right. The only thing I did, and I typically always do have the listing agreement, but Jimmy said this is just, we're just gonna walk through the house to assess everything, and then we'll go back. So that's why. But I mean, I did have the light bio, but guess what? We got it done.
That's what I'm
That's all I
talking
got.
about. And I see on Instagram, Maria had a win. She made it to the live session and she's at work. So she got a chance to get on here. Listen, guys, something like this, a little Rolodex, a folder, keep it in your car. Like if you guys are serious about getting out there and making money, you should have buyer rep agreements, rental agreements, listing agreements, all the paperwork you need, you should have with you in your car at all times. Your for sale by owner packet, your expired packet. If someone is ready to work with you and sign the paperwork, have that paperwork. Because I've gone home and attempted to dot loop something to somebody and I got ghosted. So if they're ready, shame on you if you don't have the paperwork with you. Take it every single where you go. Before we get into role play,
say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Betty.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I just say something?
Sure,
we know you're not in production because you just said you dot loop. We DocuSign.
I know. I'm talking old school. I'm talking old school.
I know. I'm kidding.
So here's a question I have for you guys. Somebody tell me, why do I have on this New York Yankees hat? I'm not a baseball fan. I'm not a Yankees fan. Somebody tell me why I have this on. This is what I wore every day when I was on the phone 5 days a week, 3 hours a day doing my lead gen.
Not yet.
Not yet. This was a constant reminder to me, and I want it to be a reminder to you guys when you're making calls and you're getting shut down and you're getting a no. It's not a no. It's a not yet. Maybe they're not motivated enough. Maybe you haven't answered their questions. You haven't overcome their objections. There could be several reasons why you're getting that no. However, if they're motivated, until they list with somebody else or sell it, it's still fair game. And you guys got to understand your job is the follow-up. The business comes in the follow-up. So view every no as a not yet. And if you continue to do your job and show up every day, I promise you'll have success. So today I want to get into, before we start doing just some random objection handling, I thought we'd do something a little different. This book here, if you guys don't have exactly what to say for real estate agents, you need to get this book. And it has about 30 different prompts. And the one I want to work on today with our script practice is prompt number 1. And it goes a little something like this. I'm not sure if it's for you, but, right? So this is a way to deal with rejection. A lot of you guys don't want to make the calls and don't want to reach out to people because you don't want to get rejected. This is like a rejection-free approach to dealing with sales. And so I want to give you a couple of examples that are in the book on page number 14. I'm not sure if it's for you, but when the time is right, I would be delighted to help you get the best price for your home. I'm not sure if this is for you, but I checked out the Zestimate on your home and found a few errors. I'm not sure if this is for you, but I do host open houses for sale by owners, right? All the things that we can say if we don't want to get rejected, I'm not sure if this is for you. But so today when we're role playing, if you can weave this in, I love for you guys to weave in, I'm not sure if this is for you, but. So if you guys can write that down. Yeah, Ashley, audiobook is great. And this is just a quick read every day. If you read a different prompt and you focused on using that in your day-to-day conversations, I mean, I can use that for my wife. I'm not sure if this is for you, but I bought this steak if you want to cook dinner. I mean, whatever you want to say, you can use it. So let's get into it. Who wants to start off with the role play? Tell me what you want to role play, what script, and I'll get you a partner and we're going to go through. It's called Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents by Phil Jones, Phil. Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents by Phil Jones. Pick it up. All right. Alberto raised his hand. Alberto, what script are we going over?
For sale by owner.
For sale by owner. Okay. All right. So let me just pick someone here to Ashley. Can I have you be the seller for Alberto. And Alberto, I'm going to give you 2 minutes on the clock.
Wait, is it me or is Ashley Augustine in here?
No, it's you, Ashley.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have been clear. All right, so here we go. Let's role play and let's go. Ring, ring.
Ring.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. I'm calling about a home for sale. Is this the owner?
Yes, who's speaking?
Yes, my name is Alberto. I'm a local real estate agent, and I noticed that you are selling your home for sale by owner, correct?
Yes.
Let me ask you something, Ashley. Is the fee that you have to pay that makes you decide to go by yourself instead of using an agent?
We just feel like we could sell it on our own. The market's hot. We keep seeing it's a seller's market here in New Jersey. And with that lawsuit, I just feel like, you agents can be a little greedy.
Yeah. Tell me more about it. The market is still hot.
We're seeing stuff, go off the market. We're watching local, neighborhoods, seeing what's selling, and it seems like things are flying off, going over asking still. So we figured we could just sell it on our own and save some money without commission.
How are you promoting your property?
We have it on all the Facebook groups, the local Facebook groups. We threw it up on Zillow. We've been sharing it with friends and family.
Actually, I don't know if this is for you, but 90% of the for sale by owners end up working with a real estate agent because at the end of the day, they end up with more money in their pocket. And I think it's that the situation. You are looking to get more money and don't leave any money on the table, correct?
Yeah, we're not really feeling agents. We just feel with everything that's going on, it seems like agents are a little greedy. So we just feel better selling on our own.
When you said that you have agents that agents are little greedy, what do you mean by that? Have you have a bad experience working with an agent in the past?
Between like what we've heard from, relatives, we saw, that the president said commission was already set for so long. So, we just feel like agents are a little greedy. Figured we might as well just keep our money.
If I can show you a way where I can put more money in your pocket, even after my commission is paid, is something that you might consider. Would you open mind to sit with me for 15 to 20 minutes? I'm going to explain to you how I can benefit you.
That's your time. I'm gonna stop you right there because I want to keep everybody on track. So I have a question. Where's your script, Alberto?
I got my script from different places. I mean, I got your script. I got the Jackie Kravitz script.
Okay. So were you following a script when you were talking to Ashley, or were you kind of just winging it?
No, I just trying to follow the process, follow the order of the question that you have to ask. I'm trying to implement the exactly what to say, introduce the question.
No, I love what you did there. Let me just say something, and this is me giving you a little bit of tough love. However, listening to Ashley, what was she saying? I feel like agents are greedy. They're greedy, right? And here's what I want you guys to focus on. We need to focus on being more interested than trying to appear interesting. You're trying to show like, can I help you? And you're using your sales and you're attempting to get her to meet with you. Why is she moving?
Got it.
So be interested. You'll get to where you want to go if you show her that you're a little interested in why she's even selling. You don't even know the motivation. You don't know anything. And you're going for the close. And I'm not saying that you can't close a for sale by owner over the phone. You can. It's hard to do. It's especially hard when you don't even understand the reason for their move. So really make sure, like, where you headed? Like, what's the plan? What's important about selling? How's it been going? Like, what's the activity? Like, really dig in and really attempt to understand what they're looking to accomplish.
So instead of closing really early, get more information. Got it. Thank you.
Well, listen, if you want to close, slow down a little bit and dig into motivation, and that close will happen organically if you're saying the right things and asking the right questions. So I would just follow the script, and the script is going to have you going through motivation. If you're following the right script, it's going to have you digging for motivation. All right. Betty, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Alberto, and also slow down when you're talking. You sound like you were talking very fast.
All right.
Well, and that's called what?
Yeah, so
what should we be doing when we're talking to someone?
Mirror and matching, because her tone, how she was speaking, I just felt that you were just talking. I know you weren't talking over her, but you were talking really fast. So
Okay.
I just would, if you would have slowed, just slow down the pace.
So you
I
can be
think
in
that.
rapport. Yep.
Thank
You
you,
got to
Billy.
be in rapport. So if they're talking
Yeah.
fast, you speed up. If they're talking slow it down a little bit so that you guys can be in rapport. That would make a really big difference. That's a good point, Betty. Thank you for bringing that up. All right,
Thank
Ashley,
you.
talk to me
Feedback.
about what script you want to role play now.
I've been facing the if I sell, where would I go? It's kind of been stumping me a little bit lately.
Say that part one more time. You broke up.
If I were to sell, where would I go?
If I were to sell, where would I go? Okay. So who's going to be her role play partner? Billy, you want to play? And be the seller?
Oh, okay. I'll give it a shot.
So what you're going to say to Ashley is like, I would sell, but if I sold my house, where would I go? Like, I don't know where to go. There's no houses that match what I'm looking for. I don't know where I would go. That's going to be your objection that you give Ashley. So
Got it.
when I say ring ring, I just want you to start off by saying, Ashley, if I sold my house, I don't know where I would go. All right. And ring ring.
Actually, if I were to sell my house, I don't know where I would go.
Okay. And I understand that you're not the first person I've heard mention that. So, let me ask, what is it that would keep you from moving? Say, there was no issue with inventory or anything. Where would you go?
Ideally, I would probably stay in the area. I would just need something a little bit bigger to accommodate my family and the needs. But on top of that, it's just interest rates are crazy. So if I were to sell, I'm going into a higher interest rate right now.
Okay. Okay. And how long have you been in your current home for?
7 years.
7 years. Okay. And would you say you've built up a fair amount of equity in those 7 years?
Yeah, I've got a little bit over 100,000.
Okay, great. Have you spoken with, a personal, someone who does your personal finances or accountant, to see if you could use that equity towards your down payment to your next
Mm.
house?
No, because honestly, selling has not been on my radar. So I
Okay.
mean, this is just way, way on the back burner.
Okay. And some things I've seen people do that have mentioned the issue of inventory is that, they do find that house that they love pops up, and then what they'll do is rent out their current home. So they're still kind of making up for the difference of the mortgage. Is that something you've considered or ever heard of?
Mm, I it's never anything that's crossed my mind. I mean, I feel like that's just going to be a lot more work on my end, managing a property and paying for another property. Again, the other thing is just higher interest rate. I mean, I'm leaving a mortgage that I'm comfortable in to go pay a higher mortgage for something I haven't even considered.
Okay. And is it the interest rate that would be a problem, or what it ends up being your monthly that would be the issue?
It will be the monthly that would be the issue.
Okay.
And it's just, again, looking at what's available.
Time's up. I don't know about this cheesy Oscar wrap it up music that's on here, but I got to figure out how to change that. You like it? Okay, then I'll keep it. I'll keep it if you guys like it. Billy, thank you for participating. I appreciate that. Matt, do you have some feedback for Ashley? I saw you raise your hand.
Yes, I do. Ashley, let's we want to ask more questions. That's
Yes.
that, like when you said I'm having trouble with this one particular objection, like I don't know where to move. That's oh my goodness. Sorry, my kids are crashing cars in my front yard. They he kept talking about money. I want to get away from the money. Tell me, in a perfect world with no money, where would you want to live? What would your house look like to you? Right? Start Picassoing that, right? Ask questions to paint the picture, to get them incentivized, to get them away from the money, right? What do we say? What's that saying? Marry the house, date the rate. We'll worry about the money later. Let's figure out, let's start creating that vision through asking good questions, and then we'll figure out the money later. And then you can push them to your lender too. That'll help them process that.
That's good feedback, Matt. Ashley, I have a question for you based on your role play.
Okay.
Why does Billy need a bigger house?
Yeah, I started and then I didn't keep going with it.
Well, so here's the saying: logic makes people think, emotion makes people act. So we can hit them with all the logical things. However, what's the emotional reason behind needing the bigger home? I wanted you to say bigger house. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay.
And then maybe Billy would have said, wife's pregnant with twins and we don't have enough space. And my mother-in-law is moving in with us and we need a place for her too, because she's going to be our caregiver when we go back to work. And you start digging into that, like, oh, that's awesome. Congratulations on the baby. You know, what's that going to do for you when you're in that bigger house? Like you take him down the motivation trail. And then when he's talking about interest rates, when you have to move because you're busting at the seams, interest rates are interest rates, right? It doesn't matter when you have to actually buy. You just need to find out what the motivation is, because what Matt says, you can marry the house and date the rate. If he waits for interest rates to come down, guess what? Every single buyer that's been waiting for them to come down is going to enter the market, and your competition is going to go through the roof. So even more so than it is now. So isn't it better to buy now? And you can push them there. You can't motivate anybody, but you can motivate them through asking questions around motivation. And I would tell this to you, Ashley, and almost every person I hear role play has this same kind of hang up where I don't want to speak for you, but they feel like they don't want to go too deep and ask too many questions because they feel like the seller may shut them down. So they want to get to the close a little faster. Remember what Zig Ziglar said: you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. So figure out what Billy wants and why that's important to him. Solve that problem for him, and you'll get the listing. You'll get your paycheck. You did a good job. You were asking questions. I agree with Matt. Ask more questions, and don't be afraid to dig into motivation.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. All right. So who's our next person who wants to role play a scenario? Who we got? Matt, what's the scenario you want to role play?
I'll let someone else pick.
Okay, so you want to be the seller?
No. I'll be the agent, but I'll let just blind objective.
All right. So let's see here. Why should I hire you? Like, this is a question that's in Instagram that somebody put out, and they're like, well, you know, I've interviewed other agents, right? And so why you? And message to every agent on here: do you have a USP? Do you have a snap? A reason why someone should hire you over the competition they're interviewing? It should be something that's up here that you practice all the time, so it just rolls off your tongue. Myra, do you want to role play that scenario with Matt, or do you want to do your own separately?
I'll try that one.
Okay,
That's
so
the first time I'll just wet my feet and see how it goes.
Yeah, I want you to be that seller who's like, Matt, I appreciate everything. However, I've talked to several agents. Why should I choose you? And I'm going to give Matt 2 minutes. When I say ring, ring, you can go ahead and get started, Myra. Ring,
So
ring.
I'm the seller, right?
You're the seller.
Hello?
Mara, just leave with the objection, Mara.
Just go ahead and say, why should I choose you? Just leave with that, right to Matt.
Why should I choose you?
Oh, Myra, thank you so much, and I appreciate that question greatly. I would actually have to answer your question appropriately. I need to ask one myself. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. What made you meet with me this evening?
I wanted to see what options are out there and maybe if there's anything different, something that could help me out better. Trying to figure out things.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is you're looking for somebody who is going to exceed your expectations and deliver what they promise you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I've got excellent news for you, Myra. I'm what's called the agent's agent. You ever wonder who your doctor goes and sees when he's sick? Well, I'm the realtor that sells homes for other realtors. So if we can get going this evening based off of everything that we've covered, I'd be happy to get started to work for you and show you what it is and why clients choose to work with me over other agents. Does that sound like a plan?
It sounds like a plan, but I want to know ahead of time, what are you going to do for me?
Well, I can tell you this. I'm going to post your home on the market at a premium to sell it in the least amount of time with the least amount of friction and net you the most amount of money. Let me ask you, do you want to have a headache through your entire transaction, or would you almost kind of want to slap your hands and not have to worry about anything?
That sounds great, but what guarantee is that you're going to get me the best value for my home?
There's no guarantee that I'm going to get you a specific number, but I can tell you with certainty that I can guarantee you that you're going to get the best effort out of me.
All right.
They just shooed me off stage, bro. Get done.
There we go. All right. So
thank you, Myra.
thank you, Matt. I want somebody to give some feedback to Matt. Someone, Scott, you have any feedback for Matt? Betty, Tanae, Gossett, anybody have any feedback from Matt on what he said?
Hi, Matt. I really, I feel I feel crazy giving Matt feedback because he's like great. But for me, Matt, as a seller, it felt a little, I don't know, salesy. It didn't feel like you were kind of listening to her. Like, I don't know, like a little more empathetic, maybe. A little more I don't know, about you. Like, you're so great, right? But really about you. Like, what are your stats? What have you accomplished? Like, things like that. Even one of your latest big accomplishments, what you got the seller over or something like that. That's just my feedback. But
No.
you're great.
Great feedback. And Matt, I love, and Beverly, I'm coming to you next. I love that you said, why am I here? Like, that's something that we need to say to sellers when they're like pushing back and you're sitting belly to belly and they're like, why am I here? What am I here for? Right. You talk to other agents and you said you want to, take a look at some other options. What about those other agents didn't work for you? And I'd let her fill in the blanks, and then I would show her that I'm that type of agent that she's looking for. I
would have also kind of said, like, I would have kind of said, I'm here for you for whatever your need is.
Gotcha. And what
Some
if
people just need to hear that you're going to be there for them.
Yeah, I hear that. And what if Matt has said, I'm not sure if this is for you, but I'm willing to go to work for you for free right now and show you everything I can do to get your home sold. You don't pay me anything until I bring you an offer that you find acceptable, that knocks your socks off. And if I don't, guess what? You don't owe me anything.
That works. Let's give it a try. That would have worked.
And that's what we do anyhow as real estate agents. We get a listing, we go to work, we do all this work, and we don't get paid until we bring them an offer. All I did was tell her what we already do. I just said it in a way where it was like, this, what's in it for me as a seller? Well, here's what's in it for you. No risk. Put me to work. I'm ready. Let's go. All right, Beverly, what's your feedback?
Like today, I also feel bad giving Matt feedback. It feels funny because usually you're the one, the go-to person giving us feedback. So anyway, but I good question to ask is, what is that you're looking for in an agent? Tell me what you're looking for. I love that question, and you could have felt what it is if you were to, is it that you would want? Have you had any experience in the past, with any other agent? Going from there and asking how to open up that way.
I love that. And Yesenia on Instagram was saying, like, sellers don't like when agents come across and they're like really cocky. I think there's a difference between being cocky and being very confident and walking in, knowing your value and what you can actually do. I like what Matt said about being the agent's agent. Like that. I like the way he served that up. Like, they come to me if they need their home sold. Like, you want to hire me. I don't know if I would call that cocky. It may come off cocky to someone else, but I like the confidence in that. I do. However, we do have to be careful, though, because we don't want to sound super salesy and we don't want to be too cocky and turn people off. We want to make sure that we're coming in and from rapport. Jerome, what's going on, Mr. Implementation? I like that. What's up?
I would get some feedback from Matt. So Matt, I think you are very Matt centric and you kind of miss the opportunity. It's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, which is I'm doing. But when you said something about show you, I can't remember, but what I would have said was, that's exactly what I'm here to show you. What don't you like about, or what are you uncomfortable with based on what I've shown you so far? I would have said that when you were saying me, like you were saying me, you were into Matt. But then I would have said, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to show you how I'm going to get this house sold, or show you whatever your end goal is. That's what I would say. That's why I'm here. And then I would lean into their question. So that's my feedback for you.
That's awesome. And Jerome, can I give you a little bit of feedback?
Sure.
First of all, I love your name. That's my middle name, Jerome. So there we go. But secondly, I wanted to say, I love how you have your phone number on there. The only thing that you don't have is, where are you from? Like, what city, state are you in?
I'm in Philadelphia and I am not a traditional agent. I buy houses. That's like my
Okay.
default. So I'll make sure it's updated next time. Renee Lord invited me here.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
my first time,
No
but I
doubt, no
will-
doubt, man. Yeah,
I will make sure that's reflected in the future.
yeah, because it's always nice to know where people are, especially if people have referral opportunities for you. And I keep telling
Yeah.
agents all the time to change their name on Zoom and put where you work, because you're on here with people from all over the country, and you may get a referral. So, all right, man, I appreciate you being
I'll make
coachable.
sure
That's what's up.
updated. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man. Thanks for joining. That's good. David, what's up, man?
So this is funny because Matt and I talk all the time, and I feel like that was an opportunity for feel, felt, found for Matt.
Ooh.
Because he could say, I know exactly how you feel, and all of my clients have felt the same way. But what I've found is I just did a transaction with someone where we got them X amount of dollars and closed in 11 days. Like Matt just told me a story about how he did a transaction with somebody, and like he told me everything about the transaction. So I feel like that was an opportunity for him to tell a story.
Yeah.
And just like motivation, like people react on emotion, people also react to stories. So I think Matt's got a million stories from like his last 5 listings that he could tell. He could tell one, he could tell another one, he could tell another one. And I think, you know, even pull out his Instagram and show the him in the shower. Like there's so many opportunities for Matt to be Matt.
Yo, you got to be careful saying that, bro. Some people don't know what you mean by me and this.
He had a suit on.
By
Like he was
me
They'll
in the
go to
shower.
your
He had a suit on.
Instagram. They'll go to your Instagram and see what I'm talking about. I'm starting.
Yeah, check my Instagram out if
Check
you
my
want to
Instagram
see what
out.
he's talking about.
But yeah, I think it was just an opportunity to tell a story about past clients, basically.
So what David is talking about, guys, is a script called Feel, Felt, Found. And I think David's absolutely correct. You know, I understand why you feel that way, Myra. I've had other clients that have felt the same way. What they found, though, is that my track record is going to allow them to get their home so quickly with minimal, which is a minimal friction, right? And I net my sellers 5% more than the average agent. Would that pose a problem for you if I can make you 5% more on the sell of your home? Sign the contract. Like, I love that Feel, Felt, Found. It's really good. Curtis, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, can you hear me? Mic check?
Got it.
Oh, awesome. Oh, greetings from the West Coast, by the way. Good to be with all my New Jersey people. Hell yeah.
We're in the West Coast. Where you at? Where you at?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh man, La Jolla, Gaslight District. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little North County by the beach, so
Okay.
it's all good. But it's early up here, so I put my alarm to be with you all. Hey, and real quick, and Matt, you're smooth, man. And but I would just say this was a good opportunity for what you were talking about, David. With listen, I'm not sure I'm the right guy for you, and I won't know until I ask you a bunch of questions to find out what you are trying to accomplish, what your goals are, and then and only then I'll know what you know, if I'm the right guy for you. So this is why we should meet. I thought it would be less from the agent's perspective about what I can offer and more from the, you know, what the client's all about. So listen, I'm not sure I'm the right guy until I know more about you, but I'm going to start using that, David. And thank you for that, by the way. I'm not sure this is for you, but
right.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, I hear that. And listen, guys, Matt Curtis is on here from California, 3 hours ahead of us. And he's got his camera on. All you New Jersey folks, no excuse. Let's turn the cameras on so we can see your face. Let's role play. I want to see you guys. If Curtis can get up in California and be here on time, so can you guys, right? And Curtis, I love the feedback that you gave Matt. And I think Matt is super smooth, right? Everything that he says, like how he delivers it is really good. And that's how we want to get to that level where we can actually deliver on that level. All right, so who's up next? Who wants to role play next? I'm throwing out
this time to make it easy for you, David.
Okay, you're gonna be the seller. Thank you, Matt. All right, so who's been on the phone making calls? As I said last week, if you guys are prospecting like you should and you're making your calls every day, you should be getting questions from sellers that maybe you can't overcome, or you should be getting objections where you're like, maybe I didn't handle that correct. What else could I have said? All of my prospectors that are making calls every day, and that should be everyone on this call, when I ask for an objection, you guys should all be raising your hands because you all should be getting objections every single day. Concerns me that I don't have a lot of hands up right now. What should I read into that? Does that mean you're not making calls? Jade, are you making calls? Tanae, you making calls? Maria, you making calls? Nashira, you making calls? Rodney, Gerald, are you guys making calls? Unmute and tell me yes or no. I'm just curious.
Yes, but not as much as I should. But I have an objection, but it's the same one that a lot of we've been talking about. I don't need an agent. When
So is this a for
calling-
sale by owner saying this to you?
Yeah, yeah. Or I had another one from an expired. It just expired, but they don't want to put it back on the market anymore. They've
Love it.
changed their mind.
Okay.
Which
I
one you
love
wanna
that
do?
one. I love that one. Let's do that today. Role play that with Matt. Tell him when I say ring ring, tell Matt, I appreciate the call, but we're not putting it back on the market. All right. That's a
Wait,
solid
no.
one.
I'm the seller. She's gonna role play.
That's right. You're the seller. Matt, thank you.
So what's
Thank you,
what,
Matt.
what objection are we doing? We're not putting it back on the market.
I don't want to put it
It
back on the
expired.
market. It
Yeah.
expired. All right. Ring ring.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
No, just say
I
to
see.
him,
Oh.
I'm not putting it back on the market. Just go right
No,
into
I have to
it.
say that. I
Yeah,
apologize.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
say
say
that.
that. I apologize. Thank you so much today. I appreciate your phone call, but we're not putting it back on the market.
Okay, I understand that. Is there a reason why you're not going to put it back on the market? I understand it just expired last night.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million different reasons why the house didn't sell, and we're just choosing not to do it at this point.
Okay, were you working with an agent or were you selling it on your own?
No, I was working with an agent.
Okay, and how long was the home on the market before it expired?
6 months.
6 months. Wow. Okay. And in that 6 months, did you get any offers at all?
I had a couple of them, but nah, I didn't like them.
You didn't like them. Was it because they were too low, too high?
Some of the number really wasn't too much of a problem. It was sometimes like some of these terms, I felt like these people were gonna just gaslight me and then beat me up, and I don't know, it just didn't seem right, didn't feel right.
Okay. And was your agent supportive in that process? What type of feedback were you getting to make you feel supported in your decision?
Well, I mean, they listed the property for me. But that was about it.
Okay. So what if I told you, Matt, as an agent myself, I do way more than just list your property. In this very tough market, I know how difficult it could be as a seller to want to give up your home and not just give it away, but sell it at market value.
Yeah, today I appreciate it. Again, we're just not selling right now. We're just
but
not
I
gonna
would
put it
love
back
the
on the market.
opportunity to, that's my time.
All right. So, Tanae, I'm going to ask you to give feedback to yourself. What do you think you could have done a better job at?
I don't think I asked the right questions. Asking questions, yes, but probably not the right questions. I should have got to the motivation faster, why they decided to put the house on the market in the first place.
Yeah, that's what Angela's saying on Instagram, get to their original motivation. So, like with expired, sometimes I like to switch it up and do a bit of a pattern interrupt. Like, Matt, if I brought you a full price offer cash today, would you still sell? Like right in the beginning, just to get the yes. So I know I'm dealing with somebody who's motivated. And the minute he says yes, I'm like, well, that's got to be frustrating. Your home didn't sell. If it had sold, where were you moving? I'm going into motivation first, always.
Right.
Just to dig into it. Somebody's hand was up and they took it down. Whose hand was that? Did you have feedback for Matt?
That was mine, David, but you said the same thing.
Okay.
Dang, Jerome, you just calling me out today.
That's right, because you brought me here. I want you to show yourself. Yes.
Thank you, Jerome. Show yourself. It's tough to get people to turn their cameras on, but you're here. You got your tie on. You suited and booted. We can turn these cameras on. There we go, Renee. What's up? All right,
yes.
So it's good feedback, and then also with expired, it's like he was like, yeah, I just didn't like the offers. Tell me more about that. Like, I don't like to say it's too high or too low. I don't like to fill in the blanks for them. I like to just say, tell me more about that. Let them talk. Let them share as much as they want to share with you.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Matt, give some feedback.
Yeah, today I wiggled a couple pieces of cheese in front of you. I wanted you to take some of the bait and just attack that. Tell me a little bit more about that. That was the one that I was looking for when I was being super vague. So that's the only. I agree with David. That was the one thing I was looking to hear you say. Simply because I was being super vague. And so then if you would have been tell me more about that, then my character would have then started revealing more about the listing, and then we would have progressed.
I love that. And Tanae, are you familiar with the 3 Ps of real estate?
Yeah, that's what I always forget. Okay, wait.
You mean the 5 Ps?
Well, I start with the 3. Right, Matt. Right. I start with the 3 though. And guys, if you don't know this script, when Matt was saying like I just didn't feel like they did anything for me, I like to say it sounds like you got a 3P agent. Do you know what that is? And nobody knows what that is. A 3P agent is someone who puts a sign in your front yard. They put your property on the multiple listing service, and they just sit back and pray somebody sells your home. That's what it sounds like you had. I have to tell you, the reason people hire me is I do the 4th and 5th P. I price watch. I know the market. And more importantly, I prospect every day to find buyers for my sellers. I'm sure if you decided to hire another agent, that's what you would be looking for, someone who's going to be proactive about getting your home sold, correct? So I like that 3P script. 3P script. I need some more coffee. Jerome, what's up?
Tanae, I was going to tell Tanae, she nailed herself when she said she didn't ask the right questions. Like when Matt was being vague, I'd have been like, okay, like he said, I didn't the offers or something like that. I'd be like, what didn't you like about the offers? And had him start talking and lean into what he was saying there. So you nailed yourself. You knew that you didn't ask the right questions. The other thing I would say is, were you following the script?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Yes or no?
I think at this point, I would have been in the middle of the script.
So the answer is no. So follow your script.
No, because I feel like, okay, I wasn't. But I felt like we were pretty much past the beginning of the script, so that's why I didn't. But you're right.
Jerome, I like you, man. I love that. I love that accountability. And really quickly, someone's asking me to repeat the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps are: a real estate agent comes, they put a sign in your front yard, they put the property on the multiple listing service. I don't say MLS, I say multiple listing service, and they pray someone else sells a house.
Why don't you say MLS?
Because some people don't know what MLS means.
Right.
And so we got to be careful. We are heavily into acronyms, and we all know what they means. Our sellers don't. We got to break it down and explain what's CMA. Don't say CMA. We know what that means. They may not. So I say multiple listing service. Great question, Jerome. And then the 4th and 5th P is price watch and prospect. And I have a question in here in the chat. How do you guys handle a seller that really seemed interested, but then when you're reaching out to them, you just feel like they're dodging you. They're not taking your calls. They're not getting back with you. And you're like, I thought I had a hot one. And, they told me to call back. I'm calling back. I can't get a hold of them. I keep getting voicemails. They don't return my calls. This is not a script per se. However, how do you guys handle that type of interaction with a potential client?
Please tell me, because I have that one going on right now.
Okay. All right.
And I've been calling and calling and calling and calling. He haven't blocked me yet, but.
So a couple of things. I'll just tell you a brief story just from my experience with it. I was calling expired listings in West Milford in Passaic County. And I talked to this lady, her name was Nicole, and her house had expired. And I started to get into the motivation, and she said, I got to go. Can you call me back? And I could tell that she needed to sell her home. It was an area that I was working in, so I really wanted the listing. I called this lady every single day for over a week straight, maybe 10 days straight. And my message was like, hey, Nicole, it's David. I know I called you yesterday. I hadn't heard back from you. Here's my number. You can call me back. If I don't hear from you, I'll give you a call tomorrow. And it was almost the same message every single day. And I started to get in my feelings like, man, I thought I had her, and now she's not returning my calls. What's going on? Like, should I just leave it alone? What should I do? I'm sending texts. I'm sending letters. Nothing, right? One night I'm sitting in the living room watching TV with Michelle. My phone rings and Nicole's calling me. And I answer the phone And she apologized to me. She's like, David, I'm so sorry. I'm going through a divorce. I just started a new job in the evening. I'm a nurse. I've just been so busy. I've been getting your messages. Thank you so much. She thanked me for continuing to call. So I think, first of all, we have to understand that as busy as our lives are, other people's lives are busy too. And they have a lot of stuff going on. And a priority might be selling their house, but life just might be getting in the way. Your job is to continue to follow up until they list with you or until they list with someone else. Continue to call. They will eventually answer your call when they are ready. And of course, send a letter, send a text, maybe pop by and knock on the door. And I've done something in the past that you may want to try. Whoever said I'm having that issue as well. Five Below, you can go buy these little basketballs for like $5. Get that, buy a box that can fit the basketball in there, write up the contract, right? And then drop that off at their house and leave a note saying the ball's in your court. I'm ready when you are. That will get them to open that up. That's going to keep you top of mind. No one else is doing anything like that. And at least they're like, oh, that's different. And you guys are thinking like, am I being too pushy by calling that much? Let me ask you this. Are you hungry? Because the day you don't call is going to be the day that they're ready and somebody else is going to call and they're going to eat your food. You got to continue to call every day. And what I would say, so that I didn't seem so pushy, I would say, hey, Nicole, I know that I'm calling you every single day. The reason why I'm doing this is I recognize you're busy and I just want to make sure when you're ready, you're thinking of me and you have my number. So my number is blank. You can call me back. And if I don't hear from you, I'll give you a call tomorrow. And I just did that every single day. I always left my number. Guys, we just need to understand that it's not their job to call us back, period. It's our job to continue to follow up, like be relentless about it. If it's too pushy for that particular person, hey, you might miss that one. However, I'm telling you, most people appreciate how hard you're working. And I tell people straight up, I'm working this hard to earn your business. Imagine when you put me to work. Use that to your advantage. Show them how hard you're willing to hustle to earn their business. All right. What's the next one we're role playing? Come on. Let's go make some money. Look, Alexander, I got a listing for 1 year follow-up. I got a listing after following up for 2 years, a house in Ridgewood. 2 years. And yet you guys will tell me, David, I've been calling for 2 days and they're not calling me back. I think I'm going to throw this lead away. I'm like, what are you talking about? 2 days, really? Like we got to follow up. All right. So what's the next one we're doing? Just so you know, I know my scripts and objections. I don't need to practice this. I'm here for you guys. So what's up? There we go. There we go. I was about to end the call early. What's up, Curtis?
Yeah, you know what? So I've been doing circle prospecting lately. Not that I have any specific objection, but I've just been doing the circle prospecting. If anybody wants to be a circle prospector.
Okay.
Prospect.
Okay, so you want to do a circle prospecting script? Let me just choose someone here for you. Jay, can you be a seller that's at home and Curtis is going to call you doing circle prospecting? Jade's like, David, I'm eating right now. Sorry, Jade. I just see you chewing. Are you able to, you can shake your head no if you can't do it. It's okay.
No, that's fine. I can do it. Sorry, I was just eating.
Perfect. And Myra, I'll come to you next. All right, so Curtis, I'm going to say ring, ring. And let's hear your circle prospecting script. Ring, ring.
Okay. Oh, hi, Jay. This is Curtis. I'm a local realtor. I'm calling about the property on Elm Street. I was calling to see if you had any plans on buying or selling in the near future.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't understand. What am I doing? If I'm a circle prospector,
Jade, this is Curtis. I'm a local realtor, and I was calling about your property on Elm Street. And I was calling to see if you had any plans on buying or selling your home in the near future.
Maybe.
Okay.
I hadn't really thought about it lately.
Okay, so you're saying maybe, like you've put some thought into possibly selling the property?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about selling it a while ago, but then I got busy with looking for a job and stuff like that. So I kind of put it on the back burner.
Wow. Okay. So you were thinking about selling it a while ago, but you got busy, but you were looking, investigating some job prospects. Now, how did that go for you? The job?
I'm still looking.
Oh, you are. Okay. All right. Listen. So, okay, great. So, if you were, is there anything that's stopping you besides the job from making your move?
Well, depending on where I get the job, then I'll know if I'm going to be moving or not.
Okay, terrific. And Jade, just so I'm aware, what exactly is it about the property that you're looking for, and what's really prompting the move?
I'm looking to downsize because my kids graduated from school, so it's kind of too much house now.
Okay, Jade. All right, listen. So it sounds like you're still waiting. Oh, dang it! It sounds like you're still I was just about to close. I just missed it.
All good.
Sorry.
Scott, get some feedback, man.
Okay. The thing that I noticed is that he didn't come with any value. It was like he called up and said, "Hey, you going to sell your house? You ever think of selling your house?" It's out of the blue. If I was circle prospecting, I'd pick a property that just sold recently and say, "Hey, did you see this house that was for sale? Do you know what they got for it? Did you ever think of selling?" Come with information, come with value, and then go into the motivation and that. It just seemed like it was like a sales thing. And I mean, Jade made it easy for him, but I think most people would say, "Well, what are you calling me for?" Whatever.
Yeah, and there's some thank you, Scott. And there's some feedback saying there was a missed opportunity to build rapport, ask about the new job, ask about the school, like really build some rapport. I guess my question would be, I never did circle prospecting. Are you getting results from the circle prospecting, Curtis? Are you getting listings and opportunities?
Yeah, no, I'm getting leads. That's really the best, because people I call, nobody has told me that, and I've been prospecting. Nobody has told me, "Yeah, I'm ready to do it. Come on over, let's do it tonight." But it's usually like maybe 3 months, 6 months, like that. Great. Is it okay if I stay in touch? Can I grab an email? That's really what I've been doing.
So you're building your pipeline, which I think is great. Have you thought about circle prospecting for sell by owners?
I have not. I have. I'm not up to that yet. And
I would say you are. It's the same conversation you're having with Jade. It's just a little different. So the difference is you're calling around trying to find that 1 out of 100 that might be thinking of selling their home in 6 months. Where if you had in San Diego, I don't know how many FSBOs there are, but let's say there are 20. You have 20 people that have their hand raised saying, "I have a house to sell and I want to sell my home." So I just wonder if that would be a better use of your time. I would still do the circle prospecting and build my pipeline. However, I think you should add another pillar and potentially call for sell by owners, because these are people that you're looking for. They want to sell their home.
Right. Great. I will. That's awesome. Thank you for that. And David, just a quick question on the comment about the adding value, because I've tried this approach. Hi, this is Curtis with XYZ Realty, and calling about whatever, and just want to let you know that what's going on in your neighborhood, a property just sold for $900 a square foot. It's a, record per, any information like that. It seems, my impression is that people really don't care. It's like, well, or they don't even know what that means. Like, a property just sold here. That's my impression. Am I off on that? Should I be doing that?
Any circle prospectors that can answer that? I never circle prospect, so I'm not the person to answer. Anybody want to give feedback on that?
I'm not a prospector, but I would say, why don't you just ask them if they're interested? I have this information here. Would you be interested in that? Get them engaged rather than like putting it on them.
So I don't know if this is for you, but I don't know if this is for you, but there you go, David. Right. And like circle prospecting, like what Scott was saying, how many people have listings that are getting multiple offers, 15, 20 offers? Only one person gets the house. 19 other people are still looking in that neighborhood. So if I did circle prospect, I would make a call and say, "Hey, this is David. I'm a local realtor. I don't say my company's name. I represented one of your neighbors and we sold their home. we had 20 offers and we have 19 other buyers that want to buy in the neighborhood. Who do you know that I should be talking to in the neighborhood right now who would be interested in selling their home and making some money? If that person you're talking to is interested, they'll say, well, me, we've talked about selling our home. Or they might say, you should talk to Mary 2 houses down. She just had a yard sale. I think she's looking to move. And so I like calling and leading with something like that that will grab people's attention. Kim, what do you have?
Yes, thank you. So I was going to say the same thing. Even if I don't have a listing in an area where my broker, another agent could have a listing that's sold, and I did the open house, and I would just say, we just sold. Like, meaning, you know, it doesn't have to be me per se, and tell them what it was. And we do have several buyers interested in being in that neighborhood. Do you know, or have you thought about selling? And then go into their motivation. If they say, no, not right now, and then kind of ask some questions. Well, where would you go if you did? But I would use my company, my broker, and just pick areas that have sold and give the price. Did you know 123 Main Street had sold and we got over asking, and we have more buyers that are interested in being in that neighborhood?
Love it. Love it. Okay. So guys, we're at 9:26 and we're wrapping up in 4 minutes. I just wanted to speak with you guys. I really have a hard time talking to people I can't see. So I'm going to ask if you guys are dressed, because we've had some issues before. If you are dressed, can you turn your camera on? What's up, Fatima? How you doing? Everybody else who can turn their camera on, turn their camera on. Let me just say this. The reason why I do this call, and a lot of you guys know this already, is because when I started in real estate almost 20 years ago, I had to figure all this out on my own. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor, someone that could help me with scripting and objection handling. So this is my way of coming from contribution and being the coach and mentor that I needed when I started in real estate. And what I wanted to say to you guys, you know, whether you're not turning your camera on or raising your hand because you're afraid and you don't want to be put out there, listen, you sweat and practice so you don't bleed in war. And to me, what's so important is like what Michael Jordan was talking about in that video I show him push all the time. People ask Michael Jordan, like, how did you make that shot? Like, how are you so good? Like, when it comes down to it and you got 2 seconds in the game and they hand you that ball, they hand it to you confidently, knowing that you're going to make that basket. How are you so good? And he said, man, that shot was nothing. You should have saw me at practice. And that's how I want you guys to be. I want you to practice till you can't get it wrong. And you have to be willing to raise your hand and put yourself out there, because if you're not willing to practice here with us in the safe space where we're giving you feedback and helping you, how are you showing up when you're in front of the seller? How are you showing up when you're in front of the buyer? One thing my mentor said when I finally got one, he told me this: stop practicing on your paycheck. And I was like, what? He said, man, you aren't practicing your listing presentation and you go out and get in front of a seller and attempt to wing it and you don't get the business. You're leaving $10,000, $15,000 because you're not willing to practice. Put the work in. Learn what to say, how to say it, learn the cadence, learn how to mirror and match, learn how to overcome objections in practice, so that when you're sitting in front of that seller, you can show up and you can be confident like Matt. We all said he was confident. Some people thought he was cocky. However it goes, he knows his stuff. That's how you need to be. And let me tell you this, competition is going to get tighter, right? Why should they choose you? Do you even know? Can you articulate that? Let us help you. That's why we're here every Friday morning. So next Friday, when we do this call, listen, this call is so important to me. I'm heading off on vacation. Like, as soon as I hang up, I'm hopping in my car and leaving. But this call is so important to me. I kept this call going, even though I got a cabin waiting for me up in the Catskills. If I can be committed and be here, I want you to be committed, because the way you participate here is the way you participate when you're not here. And maybe that's the reason nobody has objections to give or questions to ask, because you guys aren't actually making the calls. Make the calls. Done is better than perfect. You're either going to learn, right, or you're going to win. Either way, you're going to benefit from making the calls. You're going to hear what a seller sounds like, what they say to you, the questions they ask you, the objections they give you. And it's okay if you don't know the answers. It's okay if you get hung up on, because guess what? You're not getting the business anyhow because you're not making a call. So if you call them and completely fuck up the entire call, it's okay. You just come here and say, David, this is what they said to me, and I need to learn how to overcome that objection. What should I say? And then we'll tell you, and you write it down and you create a script book. And the next time that comes up, you're like, oh, we practice this. I know what to say. I'm good. And then you go from making calls and not getting any appointments to getting appointments, and then converting those appointments to listings, and then getting a paycheck. Tired of seeing agents leaving real estate and going to work a job because they weren't willing to do their job in real estate, which is to get on the phone and prospect and lead gen every day. That's our one thing. All that other stuff you guys are doing, it keeps you busy all day, and you come home tired. However, you haven't done one activity that's going to bring money into your family. None of that stuff matters. I notice all the people dropping off the call. Okay, I see you. I don't want to talk to you anyhow. If you don't want to hear what I have to say, if it makes you feel uncomfortable and you got to bounce, kick rocks. It's all good.
Hey,
I'm talking to the people right now that know that they aren't doing the work and they need to do it. And I'm speaking to you like I wish someone had spoke to me, because I wasted my first 5 years taking every class, going to every webinar, reading every book, thinking I needed to get ready. And then at the same time, people were out there that were brand new making money because they were just willing to implement and do.
Dave, I have a question if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I raised my hand, but
I saw you. I was going to come to you, but no, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead in there.
I thought you'd ask me. So, one Facebook said that he doesn't want to list with an agent because he doesn't want people in his house. Well, in the beginning, I offered him to host an open house for him, and he said, I don't want people in my house. And if I'm going to let people in my house, will be one at a time. And he continued reaching out to me. Well, he was challenging me during the call, like, what do you know about my area? And I know the area. So, and then,
well, hold on. Let me pause you. He said, I don't want people in my house. And I'm going to wrap this up real quick so we can get off. However, if I let people in my house, I only want one person in at a time. That's what he's saying, right?
Yes.
Great. I'm not sure if this is for you. However, I can list your property. We don't need to do an open house where the public's coming into your home. I can set this up where all the showings have to be approved and scheduled. And I will make sure that I am there for every showing to make sure that it's controlled and we protect who comes into your house. I mean, if I could do that for you and you knew it was a controlled environment and I would be there for every showing to answer questions and give people a personal tour, would that work for you? He's telling you his objection. He's telling you the problem he has. You got to be willing to address it.
Yeah. And the second issue, so he said, you are not hearing me. I am not going to list with the agent. I'm not repeating that. I said, I did not ask you to list with me, but I'm just letting you, I'm not going to do the work and, promote your property because he's asking me to get in buyers. And because a lot of buyers working with an agent and get you buyers, and I can't work for free.
No, it doesn't work like that. If I had a buyer, if every agent had a buyer, your house would be sold already. That's not how this works. Just be direct with him and find out why he doesn't work with an agent. I would ask more questions because it sounds like he had a bad experience. So I would tell me a little bit more about why you don't want to work with an agent. Who hurt you? I'm digging into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
seriously, I'm asking those questions because there's something that happened. And then also you don't want to come across like having commission breath. I would say, man, I understand that you don't want to work with an agent. I got to be honest with you. I don't take every listing. I don't work with a lot of sellers either. I only work with people who are motivated and coachable. Are you? Are you really serious about getting this property sold? Like I would push back on that. Like, you don't want to work with me. I may not want to work with you. That may sound a little cocky, but that's true because I don't want your listing if you're not motivated. I don't want to work with you if you're not coachable. I will turn you down and go find somebody else. And you know why I'm able to do that? Because I prospect every day. What's the saying? We lead generate so we don't have to tolerate.
Yes. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate you. I'm willing to go a little longer, but I'm ready to get on the road. So I will say this: I appreciate you guys. I hope that what I said to you didn't turn you off. I hope it amped you up to just get out there and go. And I didn't care that 20 people hopped off this call. I wouldn't care if next week I came on, I only had 5 people on here. I'm gonna help those 5 people. I only want to talk to people who are willing to hear what we have to say on this call. And what we're doing is helping you get into production. If that's what you want, this is the right place to be. And if that's what you want, you need to show up on Friday of next week, cameras on. I've decided, line in the sand, I'm not talking to names anymore. I'm only talking to faces. So next week, if you guys really want to do this and you want to practice, this is a free call. So I'm making the rules. Cameras on, or I'm taking you off the call. How about that?
Next week,
Hey,
I'm going to be driving back home
How you
with
like
my
them
kids
apples?
and my mom. Is that okay?
Listen, I'm open to making exceptions. You know, we can talk about that. And yet I'm serious about this. I don't get paid to do this. I'm here because I want to help you guys win. And I'm here because of what Zig Ziglar said. You help enough people get what they want, you'll always get what you want. I want to help you guys get into production. The way you can help yourself is by coming here ready to play, turning your cameras on, and making some calls during the week. So when I say, what objections do you have? Everybody on this call should be raising their hand with at least one objection. If you're not, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
They sleep.
They sleep. Yeah, the average agent that's not working much makes about $40,000 a year. So does a full-time person at McDonald's. Like, what do you want to do here? Do you want to get paid or not? I don't know. I'm ready to help though. And I hope you guys come back Friday, like ready to go. I hope so, because I'm gonna be ready. I'll see you guys later. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, David. Enjoy
Go
the
get
Cavs.
after it.
Thank
Go
you.
get after it. I'm only
Okay.
speaking to y'all from love. I hope y'all know it's coming from a good place. It's not me trying to just punch down on you. I'm coming from a good place because I know you have the potential. If I didn't think you had the potential, I wouldn't be on this call. I hope you know that.
Thank you, David.
Safe
See
travel.
y'all. Hey, see y'all. And follow me on Instagram. Y'all gonna see my little camping adventure when I'm out in the Catskills, roasting marshmallows and smoking cigars and everything else. So I'll see you guys later on. Y'all be good. And thank you so much for the